In order to clean up a lot of your life, you'll have to clean up your language. So, lots of people don't put the emphasis on how they speak on a daily basis. And we know that the elite has really reduced people's language more than anything. So, what do I mean by reducing language? So, think of like all these new words we hear in social media. There's things I've heard where I'm like, what does this even mean? And now it's obviously slipped into like normal language, common language. And over time, it's almost like a double entendre. Not particularly sexual in nature, but in a general sense, it can have a double meaning to it. So, not too long ago, maybe I'd say 50, 60 years ago, people had the proper ways of dressing, the proper ways of behavior, of conduct, and especially of language. Things were a lot more formal. So, it would be a bit strange to hear somebody, like if we were waving bye to someone now, like bye, to actually say I bid you farewell. People would look at you and think there's something weird with this person, or wrong or off. But in a certain time, basically, people used to speak very what we would consider formal now, but it's not formal, it's the correct way of speaking. When you have the correct way of speaking, your speech is able to manifest and bring things in very quickly. Now, I've often said that English is an occult language, and occult language literally casts spells on whatever you choose to speak. So, something like the best example I can give you is generally, if you go to many European countries, so in France it would be bonjour, in Spain it would be buenos dias, in Italy it would be buongiorno. But if you look at that, it literally means good day. Sometimes in English, yes, people will say good day, but it doesn't really sit. It's usually good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, which obviously in other languages you can translate that to that. But usually it's not good day. Whereas in other languages, literally translated in English, it would be good day. It would be, if you see somebody in the morning, of course it would be good morning. But the word morning is mourning. You're mourning somebody, basically. Or when you wake up. What's awake? It constitutes of very similar to something of a funeral, right? So you're basically mourning someone when they wake up in the morning. This is very similar to the etymology of words, and the etymology of words essentially is what pulls things into your life. So if you put energy towards something and you're consistently repeating it, that and it can sound trite and a bit like, how can this work? Like, I'm successful, I'm rich. It may not make sense now. Like your mind can laugh at you and be like, yeah, right, I probably have this debt, or I haven't paid off this bill. It's normal for the mind to deviate. But if you keep it's I guess it's like working out at the gym or doing something on a repetitive basis that brings you healthy and good results. Over time, your mind starts to, I would say, delineate towards that. And once you see the delineation, things start to fall into place. The best example I give people after the bonjour and buenos dias one is, for instance, I tell people, stand in the mirror and for 21 days tell yourself you're ugly. People just look at me strange, and it's like, why would I tell myself I'm ugly? Right, because subconsciously you already know that the power of words is strong. So why would you want to reaffirm 21 days in the mirror that you're ugly? Why don't you reaffirm that I'm beautiful or I'm handsome or something? Because it goes back to a self-worth issue. So the point is, nobody's going to stand in the mirror for 21 days and do this exercise of saying, I'm poor, I'm ugly, nobody wants me. Why would you stand in the mirror and do that? So the question, or sort of the statement I'm making more than the question, is that your language to yourself and to others is very important. How you fractionate sentences, how you construct them, how you end them. Most people are not self-aware, and they never give any thought to this, basically, or there's no intention behind it. And the reason there's no intention behind it is because language has become something very casual, just like dressing has become casual. Everything is casual, and when everything is too casual, it's too relaxed, and it takes away from the intent to create a healthy and balanced life.